Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to another episode of FCM. You already know what time it is. The football culture movement. They call me the host the most, Michael Quadri. And to my right, I have the podcasting Pepe, otherwise now known as Tichi Kadani, in the building. My boy Fuad,
Hey,
what are you telling me?
Man.
You good?
We here. Without Cams this week.
Cams this week. Cams is in Manny. Let me tell you something about Cam. Cam is with Sky Sports and Now TV, I believe it is, you know. Big up the bros, doing brand work. I love it. I love it. Top bins challenge.
You see where they went?
Yeah.
Rosed. Hey, go check his story if you don't believe me.
Yeah. And then the one that he did get, I looked, he was wearing one Air Max, one football boot. I said,
You know, Cams was one of them youths that was wearing jeans and shoes back in the day. You know them
T90 flex?
jeans and Astros, yeah.
T90 flex.
Like the T90s they brought back.
Sunday school drip.
That's the target market right there, I'm telling you.
But listen, man, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Algorithm, super important. A few PSAs before we go any further. If you haven't checked out the Martin Tyler episode, go and check that out.
Definitely.
Great interview, great insight, real footballing man. You need to lock into that one. The Premier League's dead anyway, so make sure you go and lock in some interviews. Listen, Champions League is coming in the middle of the week. So if you're not following Dos Locos, make sure you go and lock in.
Hey,
that's going to be on your channel?
On Wednesday,
Coach
on
Cams
Culture Cams. Yeah,
Culture Cams' YouTube.
Channel.
Go and subscribe.
Back, baby.
Fuad Kadani and Culture Cams will be going live and discussing the games.
And you know it's business end now
It's
as well.
the business
so we're
end.
going
It's
to preview
getting
that as well in
serious.
today's episode. So
If you're looking for a motive in London, even if you're not from London, Monday night, Copper Box, Stratford, go and watch the SDS boys. There's still tickets remaining. Big game on Monday against who?
Depo Trio. This is Gary Lineker.
Is it Depo Trio?
Yeah, Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer, and Big Meats, as they're calling him.
So Fuad Kadani's already put John Terry in your body bag. Can he put Maka Richards in? Can you? Fuad Kadani, can you put Maka Richards in?
FCM versus match of the day. Hey!
Boy, match of the X.
Don't let me put it on a poster. Nah, we need this one though, man. So last week we got a loss. We need to get it back in blood. You know what I mean?
Go and check that out as well. Remember, go
Please
and check the
come
individual socials as well. I'm sure the links are there somewhere. Go and search our names. Go and check that. But without further ado, we have a tradition at FCM. It's very simple. And so if you're new around here, I'm going to talk you through it. Football is a very difficult game, you know? Two teams go out there, 11 aside, a few substitutions, thousands of fans watching, and you try and get the dub, you know? Sometimes you don't always get the dub, and you have to appreciate the moments where you do. So if your team went out this week and got the dub, then hold tight all the 3-point collectors worldwide. Premier League,
somehow, somewhere.
Championship, Evo Stick.
We sent them boys to the championship.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Green line. I see what you did. Hold tight the participants as well. Two teams have to, participate. It's not just one team.
Thanks for participating, Southampton.
Listen,
better luck next time.
But listen, let's get into this game very briefly. I've got to be so honest with you guys, and I'll be so real with you. The Premier League is in disarray, but we're still here for you, and we're still here to have conversations. We're still here to have content. The game I witnessed today wasn't a great game.
Haram Malik.
It wasn't a great game. It wasn't a great game of football. The Manchester derby is supposed to be something. Even if both teams are poor, you're supposed to see passion. You're supposed to see live wires. You're supposed to see something. Didn't see anything that moved me. Didn't see anything that shifted the needle. Didn't see anything that would make me want to pay money to watch it. So to all the fans that attended, hold tight you because, you know.
And normally we come on it, you know, like it's always the 4:30 game. We always try and dive into it, where, you know, whatever, which I analyze, you know, the home team, you know, this individual bro, it was just slop. Nobody could keep the ball. Nobody could create anything. Bro, when Casemiro, I think, was maybe the only player I could see putting in a couple of tackles around. I was like, when Casemiro was looking like the standout player in the game, I was like, shout out Bruno as well. Bruno, I think he's been someone who, despite United's sloppy season, he has been one kind of shining light within that. And fair play to him. He tries, you know what I mean? But my God, man, it was a state of where the two teams are right now, to be honest. Kind of United in disarray in bottom half of the table, the home team. But then you've got City on the other side, that basically the worst City side that have been in a number of years. And bro, that game was just, I feel like, a reflection of kind of the whole kind of.
It was spooky, man. It was spooky. But you mentioned one player in particular, in Bruno. I've got to be honest, United fans, I'm going to say it. Bruno in my estimations, has increased tenfold. I respect that man. That is a man that turns up to work and says, you know what? Even if the building's burning, I'm going to make sure that my Excel spreadsheets look in order, that my paperwork is filed properly, and I'm going to be the best employee that I can be. His performance, I thought he was KDB today. I thought I was going to get a KDB sort of swan song, let me crash at United one time. It looked like they said, you know what, let KDB crash it. KDB couldn't find his feet. Bruno said, you know what, I'm going to be a tribute act. You know, like when you go to like the musicals and it's like Whitney or stuff like that. He was like, I'm going to be a KDB tribute act and play like KDB today.
On your retirement. On your retirement.
I'm going to pay tribute to you. More. His performance, I thought, you know what? Wow, I was seeing dummies, I was seeing crosses, I was seeing tenacity. And I think that's been his story of the season so far. I think if you take Bruno out of this United squad, it'll be scary where they are. They are scary anyway. Yeah. But it'll be even more scary where they are. And I think
that's the thing with him though. That's almost been the story throughout his entire United career, if you like. It's where would United be without Bruno? And I think he's kind of one of those players, damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Do you know what I mean? Because there's so much on him.
Yep.
And I think there have been times when obviously maybe people have wanted more. But then I feel like he's... The one thing you can never deny him is almost cheating you of effort or trying to cheat you of doing something even when he's at his worst. He will still call for the ball 100 times. He might give the ball away 90 times, but he will still demand it the 101th time.
Yep.
And it's that kind of courageousness and kind of big balls, I say, that you want your kind of captain to play with at times, to be fair. And obviously, listen, it hasn't been a perfect kind of record, but I think this season, you're right. In a season where there hasn't been many things to kind of write home about at Old Trafford, but Bruno's been one kind of constant that you can kind of say, you know what, at least he's doing his thing, and maybe kind of moving into this kind of next period. Obviously, he will still have a big role to play anyway, so it'll be huge. But it's funny you say that he was kind of a KDB tribute act, because with KDB, even with obviously we'll talk about him in particular as well, but I feel so sorry for him out there, because I'm like, brother, I can see your brain is in 2018. But the legs, they're in 2025, brother. And I kind of, even if we want to kind of sway into this, I kind of almost hear City not offering the new deal, if that makes sense. I feel like last time he came in there, contract negotiation said, I don't even need an agent. I've gone to the data analytics bank. I'm here to get paid. Yeah. And he made sure he got paid. And he earned his damn money. But it's kind of like, now I understand. And it's every story has an ending. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. And I think this City one now, with City kind of starting to decline a little bit, at the first exit, jump off, brother. Because you don't need to be part of the revolution or whatever. Cool. But go on. You was about to say?
It's father time. You can't outrun father time. And the reason why it's great to have a KDB appreciation night is because in recent times, people have rewritten history on KDB. When the legs have started to go, they've started to say all of these things. We're looking at potentially the best midfielder the Premier League's ever seen. One of the best players of his generation. We're saying there ain't no might about it.
Ain't no might, ain't no maybes. Mayowa. I think I've been on record, actually, on this pod, the previous iteration, stoppage time, saying, live when he was playing in the peak of his powers, saying, this guy, when he retires, he is going to be the greatest midfielder in Premier League history. And listen, people have different kind of ways that they can kind of look at it, and you can have your favourites, and I have no qualms if you have Scholes, if you have Gerrard or Lampard or whoever it is. But for me, in terms of when you look at the body of work that he's done, the 6 Premier League titles with his fingerprints over all of them, I think you look at the way he's come back from a injury that basically finishes most players with his knees. He's come back and restored the levels. The number he has put up every single year, I think it's 106 goals, 174 assists. I think nobody's ever going to catch that Giggs record, but if anybody ever was, we always thought it was going to be KDB. Season after season, the consistency, the quality, the big moments, whether it's Aston Villa final day, Wolverhampton, Newcastle. I remember when he was coming back with the slick back hair, man, we're looking at him like Superman. Real Madrid going to the Bernabeu twice and shutting them up. Champions League, he has turned up in big moments when previous City greats like the Yayas, like the Silvers, maybe they hadn't. For me, I look at him, I'm like, you're the greatest Manchester City player, in my opinion, and you're the greatest midfielder in Premier League history, without a shadow of a doubt. You even look at, in terms of, like, what you look at kind of for Gerrard, the kind of great range to his game. I think KDB has that same. Maybe you would say Gerrard is defensively a bit better. Lampard maybe in that final third is a little bit better. But in terms of everything else, I think he can match them bar for bar. And right foot, left foot. Yeah. He's even created that kind of move of
trademark pass.
The passing ability,
the corridor of uncertainty. Yeah,
because like where the ball is going, and you can't do nothing about it. Titles have been won using that very same move. Yeah. Gundo, Kevin, he knows you're going to be there. This has been documented, bro, and we've seen it year after year. He has the longevity, he has the accolades, he has the individual honors, he has the moments, he has the consistency. Yeah. What more does he have to do, in my opinion? And then the fact that he's kind of been the guy that helped City cross that final threshold in the Champions League run as well. And people will say, oh, he got injured in the final. Hey, unfortunate circumstances. But they did it for Kevin. And I'm telling you now, I was saying he was the greatest, and now I am even more certain that his tenure's come to an end. And I'm sorry, if you think Gerrard or all these guys, have the debate amongst yourselves. For me, that is never changing. Kevin De Bruyne is the number one guy.
I hear you. Box of Oranges 84 says, for the last 10 years, every rival fan has been asking their club to sign a player like KDB. He is certified, no doubt about that. KDB is like the boogeyman. Like, you know, there's certain players that you look at and you think to yourself, if this guy decides to start clicking it, it goes mad. And one thing that I always look at is...
Bro, did you not see... Our co-host dropped a video on the day.
Jehovah!
I was like, yo, man, we're doing dances, celebration. Yeah. Arsenal fans finally breathed. Yeah. This guy with a torn hamstring was giving them nightmares, bro. Facts. Like, he's literally what you said, the Premier League boogeyman. And I think, listen, players have eras and everything. This era, he will be one of those defining players. Yep. When we look at kind of the John Terrys and the Lampards and the Drogbas, and they define an era, he will also come and have his era. It's incredible, bruv, honestly, for me, what he's done.
What I was big up, because we were talking about the corridor of uncertainty, that trademark pass of his. I think often, especially because it's happened post the injury, people forget how combative KDB was in terms of when he was running with the ball. Remember when I used to joke about and say that this guy's like John Cena, like when he starts running, like, bro, it's a wrap.
It's like the deceptively quick white guy.
Yeah.
You know the ones, like, you don't think he's quick, but he's rapid. I remember, was it against Arsenal? Was it last year or the year before? Where he just picks up the ball and just drives past, man. And the thing is he has this incredible ability of doing things on the run. He can be at full-blown speed and find the perfect pass, the perfect cross, the perfect finish, and with either foot, bro. It's like, honestly, for me, it's time is going to do him justice. Because I promise you, you're going to look back at videos of the goals, the assists, the moments, and you're going to be like, I can't believe I got to actually see this in lifetime. And I just hope everybody appreciates Kevin for what he is and doesn't start kind of like doing this, my GOAT is better than him because of tribalism. Brother, I'm telling you, we have witnessed greatness here.
With the young pros that I tend to like work with and stuff, there's a generation, you mentioned that people depend on being pinned on generations. I would say that the mark of a top player is when young players come in and like, that's the guy I want to be like. There's a whole generation of kids that grew up wanting to be James Rodriguez because of that World Cup. Yeah. There's a generation of kids that want to be KDB because of the body of work he delivered. And when you have that, what more can you want? Where there's like a crop of talent being like, I've grown up, I saw KDB's passes, I saw him with the hypervenoms and whatnot. Like, this is the guy I wanted to be like.
And that's
he's just majestic, man.
And that's one aspect as well where you're talking about it. That's the next generation. Ask every Premier League player right now currently playing who is the best player. I guarantee you 90% say KDB. Go and ask, I think I saw an interview with Gerrard the other day, even Paul Scholes when he's on The Overlap, is it? Bro, they all talk about and wax lyrical about Kevin De Bruyne because they know the ilk and caliber of what he is. But listen, I think everybody knows kind of my stance on it. Where do you think? Because especially as a Chelsea fan, I'm kind of interested because... Is there a party that goes, it should have been me? It should have been us. Because, bro,
it's not
you had him in the palm of your hand and you sent him to Germany.
It's not.
And then you could have even brought him back after Germany. Because he went there and popped. He went there and cooked. And you said, nah, you know what we're going to do? We're going to send him to the rivals and let him have this career. You essentially gave him the foundations to go and become what he became. What the hell? Is there not a part of you that sits there as a Chelsea fan like... And the thing is, you've had your greats, you had your Hazard, you was eating. But I can even understand like a Salah. Yeah. Okay, one got away, but a Salah and a two players that genuinely defined the next 7-8 years of the Premier League, bro.
Yep.
Like, is there as a Chelsea fan, talk me through that.
You know what? It hurts, yeah. It does hurt because you look at these guys and you're like, this doesn't happen overnight. There would have been signs, like. There would have been signs that KDB was a guy. Yeah. Like, he didn't just like go somewhere and turn Super Saiyan. There would have been signs. Like, but I also feel that for players, from like a selfish perspective of players, you have to have moments that help you define who you are. And I think in many senses, KDB having to go to Germany and having to get the mud at Wolfsburg, winning like, was it young player?
Yeah. Player of the year.
Winning player of the year. Actually, not a young player. You have to have that moment that you go, no, I'm actually a guy. And I need to prove to everyone that I'm a guy.
That chip on your shoulder.
Yeah. And it's something that often doesn't get spoken about a lot with Kevin De Bruyne. His attitude to wanting to win. You don't stay in a City side like that and be who you are if you don't genuinely want to believe. And then people talk about, international level and stuff like that and everything. But the whole Belgium crop, do
you know what it is,
pin
bro?
it on him. And there's been moments where he stood up.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the comparison has always been like, oh, Hazard has done better than him. And listen, Hazard had that 2018 tournament as well. But I feel like Kevin has always been in and around it. And I think it's always difficult. And now we live in like an era of we demand perfection. Yeah. You can have the Premier League. You can have the Champions League. You can have the treble. You can have the Centurion.
Put a little stain on you because you didn't win the Euros.
You didn't win the Euros. You didn't win the World Cup. You're international. Like, there must always be something people negate on. And I'm like, bro, you look at all your favorite legends. You look at all your all-timers. They have holes. They have marks. They have stains. They have some, thing that doesn't make it a perfect career. Bro, you only get that in FIFA. And I'm like, bro, for me, it's almost as near perfect as you can get in terms of a club level. I'm like, bro, this is, what more could you want in terms of a career arc? Someone who came through Genk as like a touted high youngster, went to a big club. It didn't work out. Went and proved himself. Said, all right, cool. Then he gets the big money move. Gets made the face of the franchise. Can you handle it?
Bear in mind, when that move happened, everyone was like, that's a lot of money.
Bro, the infamous tapes of Paul Merson and all these men saying 70, 60 million, he's not worth that.
Not worth that.
He has paid triple that back. And I always say, when you're great, your fee is never mentioned. I have never heard De Bruyne's fee. I'm estimating ballparks of it. I don't even know what it is to this day. But that's for me true greatness, and he's standed the test of time. We've seen that City team from when he came, when it was SAS, remember? The Sterling, Aguero, and Sane, to the full centre-back era, to what it is now. It's like, he's seen so many evolutions of that team
KDB
as well.
I remember, like, Cam said something funny in his video where he was like, there'll be City players that will be starving, and then he would just start serving it up. This guy was serving it up for Aguero. When Haaland came, what was the talk? Oh, you can't play that sort of football, There's no space for Haaland to run in. Where's the pass? Where's the pass going to come in? And Haaland had 2 hat-tricks in the space of how many games? KDB was like, bro, boop, boop, boop.
Weapon, man.
I said, it doesn't matter who's there. Everybody has to eat. Yeah. Everybody eats. So
where do you personally rank him?
I've got to be honest. I'll put him number 1.
Yeah.
I'll put him number 1. Like, I just think that the longevity that he's had, and it's the impact, it's the time of what he's done it as well. It's how special it's felt watching it. And you got to remember, City have kind of redefined the Premier League history in that time, and he's been the vocal point of it. Don't get me wrong, Aguero's moments and everything stand out.
Yeah,
you have other players like your David Silvas and everything, but what KDB's been to City, so for him to leave after,
they're talking about giving him a statue.
I mean, why not? He's deserves a statue.
If companies, big head can get one.
I want to have a quick conversation though, because on this platform and chat, I want to have this discussion with you guys as well. So let me know your thoughts on this platform.
Sorry, just quickly. There's that tweet quickly, just on screen. It says, "I will bet a lot of money that's going to happen for sure." That's Pep Guardiola saying that. He goes, but I don't know. But of course, come on, he deserves it for the level he's at. I mean.
Hey, if they make that statue, Yaya Toure might have something dark to say.
Wait, Yaya still ain't got one.
Yaya Toure might come and be like...
Wait, so who's got one at City? Company, Silva, Aguero, right?
Yeah.
Nah, Yaya's got to be in that. Do you know what it should have been? It should have been like a four tandem.
Yeah.
And then like Kevin gets like Kevin's Gate or something
Kevin's
like that.
Gate.
Like, I like that.
Kevin's Gate.
Hey, City, you might have cooked there, you know.
Hey, Kevin's
One
Gate.
Of the
I like that.
entrances or something gets called like Kevin's Gate, and you just have his statue there.
Boy, but chat. I want you guys to discuss this with me. So obviously KDB is stepping away from the mantle.
Oh, Colin Bell as well. They were saying, yeah.
They got Colin Bell and Summer being them, man.
Yeah.
KDB is stepping off the mantle. That means the mantle is vacant. That means that there's one person who's been waiting for a moment that's now supposed to step into this light. And City's supposed to be made in their image and likeness going forward. Because he's been brought through the academy and Pep said he's the special one. He's the one and everything. This now means that it's Walter's team.
Is it though? Is it?
This is the moment we've been waiting for.
And
Pep Guardiola said he was special.
And last season was the soft launch.
It was.
Last season was the soft launch of KDB's out injured for the majority year. Here's the keys.
Yep.
He showed us.
Yep.
And he almost sold us a dream.
Yep.
Because what we've seen this year, bro, I think it's thrown doubt into Pep's mind about if Foden is that guy. Because I think this summer, don't be surprised if they're going for maybe a Wirtz or someone of that kind of caliber to give Foden competition, because this season he hasn't been able to rely on him. And in essence, he should have been one of the players that this season, I'm sorry, this physical decline and all of this we speak about, the Walkers and the Bernardos and the Kevins, but this is meant to be your peak.
Boy.
Now it begins. You and Haaland were supposed to take the baton and say, all right, this is our City era now. We're going to go. And instead, you've been today he got hooked. I think 55th minute or so, whatever it was. Hey, man, I think he's lost Pep's trust this season, in my opinion. I'll be honest with you.
Pep's son.
I think so. And that's not to say, it can't be rebuilt or anything like that. But I think in terms of, I'm going to give this guy the keys and everything's going to be built around him. I don't think that's the case anymore. Whereas maybe last season, that was how he was looking at the team. Now it's going to be a case of, I need multiple stars. And that's what City have always been, let's be honest. They've never been reliant on one individual player. As much as we're talking about even like Kevin De Bruyne, he's always had running mates and teammates who always contribute and play their part, whether it's a Sterling, whether it's an Aguero, whether it's a, do you know what I mean, a Foden who normally is there, a Haaland. You're going to need that now. You're going to need to assemble that new Avengers team.
Let me be real with you, man. Philip Walter Foden, don't let anyone rob you of your birthright. Don't allow anyone to rob you of your birthright. Because you have to.
I don't like birthrights.
No, but this is the thing.
It's got to be earned.
It has to. But this is the thing. And again, I hate doing comparisons, but I always make the case that Bukayo Saka, when he had his 100th Premier League appearance, his utilisation was way more than Phil Foden's and everything. And the way it happened at Arsenal is that he had to earn it. He had to earn the birthright. And now he's the Haaland saviour. And now it's his team. Foden's had a situation where, you didn't have to go to uni. You could do a placement year. You could travel the world. You can learn from all of these greats.
Yeah.
And like you said, last year, it looked like all of that education, the moment was ready. This year has not been that. Do not get robbed of your birthright, because this is supposed to be Phil Foden's team. What Manchester City have done is, we've got the megastars and whatnot, but we've got the academy, and this is the one. This is the one that's going to be the face, the franchise. Don't allow Manchester City to go and spend money on Musiala and say, yep, you lead us. Do not allow it to happen.
I think there's going to be
Foden, how many games left for the season?
How many what?
Games are left for the season. Foden has to... This
7,
is
8.
Bro, this is like X Factor judges' houses. Bro, you have to show us something now.
I think. Listen, a few of those young attackers do. I think Doku, I think Savinho, although he's been much better in the second half of the season, I think a lot of them, there's going to be a bit more added pressure and a bit more, you need to contribute, because Kevin De Bruyne has carried a huge mantle in this team. When he leaves in the summer, bro, they are going to either need to bring a player of his mold in, or they're going to need more from these other young players who are in and around that are needing to step up, in my opinion. And Foden, all eyes are going to be on you, bro.
Boy. Couple of super chats here. Ali A says, Fuad, Kevin or Salah?
Kevin.
It's got to be Kevin, isn't it? Makanga Iruku says, if KDB played for Liverpool, Man U, it wouldn't even be a debate. Easily the greatest midfielder ever. Thoughts?
If Kevin De Bruyne played for Liverpool, Man U, I hear it.
Do you feel like there's City tax on him?
No, not really. I think because City have been so dominant in this era, it's almost undeniable. And especially with the records that they have broken, the 4-peat, the Centurions, the treble. Do you know what I mean? The domestic quadruple or treble, whatever it was as well. It's almost undeniable, and I think because of that, it doesn't really. There is no City tax.
90 by 100 says, how can one season completely undermine what Foden has done in the last half decade? Pep isn't impulsive. He trusts PF 100%. The last 5 years have to count for something.
No, you see, and what he's done is he's merged all 5 years in one.
That's the problem.
There were stages all throughout those 5 years when Foden was a squad player, when Foden was an impact player, then Foden started to feature more prominently, then he was on both wings. Last year was like, I would say that the last 2 years, because the year before that he was huge in the Champions League as well, I can't lie. But that's not to say, you know, I'm not saying now he's all of a sudden he's in a scrap heap and he's untrusted. But in terms of the team is going to be completely yours and how everybody has been building Foden up as like, once Kevin leaves, it's your team. I don't think Pep is going to do that. And of course, this season's going to play a part in it because that's the most recent work you've got to go off.
I think what you have to do is you have to look back and see how Pep Guardiola has spoken about Phil Foden over the years and where he's put Phil Foden.
There's no
Remember
way
before it was like, he can be David Silva. There's so much, like, for those who don't understand the gravity of what's going on here, Phil Foden, especially coming out of the academy, being like, you know, the local lad and everything, he was supposed to be the chosen one. And I don't like the word project, but the chosen one of this project. We can buy players, we can buy the best talents, but to have one of our own be world class and at that level and eventually give him the keys is what every club would want to do.
100%.
Every club want to do. You have a moment now where you've been gearing up. You've known that KDB's legs are going a little bit. And like you said, last season, it's a soft launch. Okay, cool. It's capsized a little bit. And not only does it happen at club level, at international level, we're sending you off with your age mates and you're looking dim. Your light's not shining.
Yeah.
That is concerning because now I have to look at you and say, do I really trust you to run away and put everything on your shoulders? To put all of that pressure on your shoulders.
And it's so weird because I feel like that hangover actually stems from the Euros.
Like
100%. After that great season, he had the Euros where it wasn't great and it just kind of lingered into the season. And you were just like, oh no, at some point he's going to get back into himself. And it just hasn't come yet. And look, a player of his quality as well, you can't deny confidence will always play a part in terms of how players' forms are. He's obviously out of form. Out short on confidence, whatever it is. Maybe next season he comes back a different player, he's back to his level. There's no doubt in that. But I'm looking at City and I don't think there's any world where you let a player who has given you as much as Kevin De Bruyne has over the past couple of years, you let him walk out the door and you don't try and replace that. Or you don't try and bring something to add to the team. Do you know what I mean? That's a huge figure, bro.
Facts. Juice Sauce, I don't even know how to say about that name. Juice Sauce. Do you think KDB has another European move in him? And if so, where? I don't know about Europe, man. I don't know about Europe. I'm hearing MLS. I'm hearing Saudi.
I hear all of that, but I'm like, I think that all might be too soon as well, you know. I think he could still do 1 or 2 years in Italy. I think the Italian game's a little slower.
What, an Ericsson thing?
And the worst thing is, mold your game. All of a sudden, do you want to be the deep line?
DOP, what? Perlo ting.
The Perlo ting. Hey, Kevin De Bruyne's passing ranger. You telling me he's not able?
What, bro? Wait, hold on. I've got a question for you.
Because Juve are going for a little bit of a rebuild.
Would that add to his legacy?
Huh?
Would that add to his legacy?
Of course it would. If he now goes to Serie A, for example.
What, and wins the title?
Juve are falling off a little bit.
And wins the title?
He goes there, brings Juve back to winning the title. Hey!
What, it starts to get interested?
I'm just saying.
What, the convo starts to get interested?
I'm just saying. And then maybe we have one more international run left in us. Hey! 7-game run. Hey!
So,
don't let us do it.
I'm not asking for a week.
That's the only thing I would say in terms of him going Saudi. Or I think a part of me will still think he has
more to give.
the Euros on his mind.
Okay. What, next year?
Next year, sorry, World Cup.
Okay.
I think he has that on his mind, so he won't want to play in like a lax league, if you like. So I think he might try and do like 1 year at like a Serie A club. Oh, man, nah, actually, PSG are kind of stacked in that area. So nah.
Yeah, I mean, on a Christian Eriksen thing, I can't lie.
I would love it. I would love it. I would love 1 more year. I think it's too early for the Chicago Fires and I mean, what is he? I know the legs are going as well. And listen, we're talking Premier League pace. That's a different pace, but Kevin De Bruyne, I'm sure he's 34.
About 34, yeah. 33, 34.
33.
Yeah.
Come on. That's prime years in Serie A. Come on, go run. Maybe not for a Conte team, because you know what Conte is going to demand of you.
Yeah.
The Napoli move is off. But hey, what? Kevin De Bruyne or next to Tijani in AC. Ooh, get Loftus-Cheek and them man down. Fuck out of here. Come on.
Natty Boy spun the block black and he goes, England failing to get the best out of their best players is a tale as old as time. If PF does what he did last year, people are back on the wagon, confusing.
Wait, say that again?
He's saying that basically England failed to get the best out of their best players anyway, so we can't use that as a measuring stick. And that if P have Phil Foden, because he's not on best.
The only thing is if you use that lazy kind of thing of where you're saying, players just perform bad for England, so you can't really judge them.
Yeah.
The issue you're having is players like Saka are still performing. Palmer was adding something in the Euros. Jude Bellingham is still doing his thing. So it's kind of like when your peers around you are actually, even if they're not playing at their club level, but they're chipping in with something, and you're just there, hands in pocket, I'm a chill guy. It can't be ignored, bro.
Ali A says Bayern under company for KDB.
Who?
Bayern under company.
I wouldn't mind that. I can't
KDB
lie.
passes for Harry Kane.
It should have happened at City a few years like if you recall. Both of them in their prime as well. It should have been. But
listen, man. Big up KDB, man.
The tired legs link up at Bayern.
You know the degeneration.
Last dance.
You know the degeneration X
When
thing
they washed up.
when they went to the corner and they're like this. They're just looking at it. Fred, I've got a random question for you, and again, chat. This is a question for you guys as well. So I want to actually know who actually knows ball. So as you know, in football, aesthetics is a massive thing now.
Yeah.
What is your favourite aesthetic in football right now? And I'll give you a few examples. So we've got baggy shorts aesthetic, like Calvin Bassey, Dean Huijsen and them, man.
Yeah.
We've got that aesthetic. We've got black gloves aesthetic. We've got strikers with tape. That's like an old school one.
The Benzema.
We have old school like Gareth Bale, slim fit, everything like under compression shirt.
I'm a simple man, bro.
What's your favourite aesthetic in football ever?
The return of long sleeve shirts.
Tell me more.
Thank you, Mr. Jude Bellingham.
Okay, tell me more.
For the past decade or so, bro, all it's been is Nike Pro gear, sleeve shorts, and even I don't even know if they actually sell long sleeve football shirts anymore for fans to wear. Because I remember that used to be a thing. I always think long sleeve shirts look better than short sleeve shirts. I don't know what it is. I just think
it's more premium.
That's a football shirt. I'm buying material. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like Jude Bellingham has just kind of brought it back in the past year or so, and he's kind of really the only player. Everybody else wears the trimmed off sleeves and the kind of stick on. For me, it's just the old school look.
So I
like a bit of the old school. When I see Rodri with the shirt tucked, I'm like, nice boy. That's good boy. That's good boy. Yes. Proper long sleeve.
So your
shirt
favorite
tucked.
is shirt tucked in, long sleeve.
That's it.
Like 1960s.
Real professional. 1990s, early thousands aesthetic. You know the shirt got to be a little bit bigger than you as well.
Yeah,
you know
it can't be too slim fit.
The tight thing. The tight thing used to be reserved for Kappa, and I think it was Puma. When Arsenal first joined Puma, I remember.
You lot Under Armour kit was tight.
The tight stuff, man. Let man breathe.
I hear it. We've got a few here. Big up Mina. Mina says bring back snoods.
You know,
the Nasri snood era. The Nasri snood era. Carlos Tevez snood era.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, why did they actually remove snoods? And I think it was because you could pull it or something like that. And I'm like, brother, in the age of VAR, nobody is going to do that. I'm sorry, but snoods were a different level of winter layer. That was one I got jiggy with. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? These kids are onto something here. Yeah.
Juice Sauce says, you lot are trying to pause my name, but are talking about men in baggy shorts. Why for that?
Hey, he got you there.
That's you. Juice Sauce, your name is no longer... Mr. Juice Sauce, your name is no longer paused, if that's what you want. Cool.
Unknown 1212 says bandanas, like Doku.
Bandana? That's not a bandana. A head...
It's just got a headband, to be fair. I ain't seen a bandana.
I can't lie. Gucci headband, ASM.
I didn't like it.
Nah, that was drip.
Fucking with it, bro.
That was drip.
Nah. Do you know what was drip? Is because I remember, was it Expressions used to walk around with the same one. I was like, hey. And then what's the Soldier Boy had the little crinkly, wrinkly one. Nah, man. I could not get jiggy with that. Are you calling
Expressions ASM? You're in for a long day.
Listen.
One of my favourites was the Pogba dabbing era when Pogba had the shooting sleeve with the mohawk. And that was one of my favourite eras.
No, do you know what's mad? Yeah, one of our players at Border League got the shooting sleeve, and I was like, "Yo, this looks hard." But I was like, "Where have I seen this before?"
Pogba.
And I was like, "Pogba."
It's Pogba.
That's what
Pogba
it was. Yeah, I remember. I was like, "Yo."
We've got a few more here.
I can't like another one. I know we're saying ones we like, but I'm more saying ones I don't like. The low socks.
You don't like low socks?
I'm not jiggy with the low socks, bro. Low socks for me, yeah. Here's my thing about low socks here is low socks used to be reserved, for the Ballers. Mavericks.
Yeah.
It used to be, if you're that guy in the team, we can overlook you not dressing like the rest of us, uniform knee high. We can overlook that. Now I'm seeing centre backs. Now I'm seeing fullbacks. The other day, was it Forest dropped a graphic picture when they lost to Villa? Ramon Sosa with low socks. I said, bro, you literally, they're already accusing you of looking like Grealish and you want to do low socks now. Guys like Grealish are running around in low socks. And I'm like, brother, just because you tippy tap the ball don't mean you're that maverick. Let's reserve some things for the special players. Like, growing up, it used to be like only wingers and tricky players could wear the flashy boots.
Yeah.
Now you got everybody wearing colourful boots and all sorts. I'm like,
you hate colourful boots.
Bro.
You hate colourful boots.
If I ever see centre backs with coloured boots, I'm just like, you're not about this. You're not ready.
Juice said short sleeves and black gloves. That's like the Martial Henry
Short
thing.
sleeves, black gloves.
Black gloves, yeah.
You know what? I kind of rock with it, but I'm also like, what are you? Are you hot or cold? Which is it? Like you're wearing short sleeve. Cause them man, I know what it is. You want, you know what I mean? Show them. I've been in the gym still. I'm cold, but I'm in the gym, just not working. Cool, do your thing.
Rabi Ahmed says Osherman's mask. I can't lie. The mask, brazy.
The mask, but Osherman has now taken it, but there were originators before him, bro.
Torres had the mask.
There was Torres.
Costa had
Diego
the mask.
Costa had
Bare
it.
Chelsea man had the mask.
Yeah.
Then Babar had the mask. Ramirez had the mask.
Yo.
Chelsea had bare masks.
Osherman, the sign is there, my son. The signs are there, bro.
No, but Osherman took it too far. Like having a bust down.
Do you know what? I was actually fucking with it. I can't lie. I was like, you've trademarked the face mask so much. Nah, you should get a bust down. Get a bust down. Go on. I respect it.
Blue and White says Pep said he pushed KDB out. Filthy evil Pep. I have a different take on this.
I said filthy evil Pep. After everything he's given you.
But when Fergie used to do that, they didn't call him Fergie evil.
Nah, bro, as nail on the head.
I feel like that.
Did it with Ruud van Nistelrooy, did it with David Beckham. You're talking about all timers right there as well. Did it with Roy Keane in the middle of a season as well, when Roy Keane, obviously dug out a few of the players. But I think that's what great managers do. They get ahead of the curve. Now, maybe you're not saying here he's gotten ahead of the curve, but I definitely think it's the right time. KDB is not the same player he has been during his entire City tenure. You can see he's visibly on the decline. Yeah. Now, if you're a small club or something like that, you think, hey, we should milk this for as long as we can. A la Son Heung-min. Let's keep him here. Marketing reasons, maybe, hey, man, left wing, we can still get some. Brother, give it up, evolve, and move forward.
I hear it. Let's quickly round through the rest of the Premier League. Liverpool lost their first away loss in the Premier League this season.
Yeah.
3-2 to Fulham. Fulham, putting up trees. 8th European contention.
I think Fulham will be where they are, and I think they'll be happy with that. Big result. I think that the goal from Muniz.
Disrespectful, innit?
Brother. Some first touches you got to give a round of applause. Even if they're on the opposition bench. He looks
like a Dragon Ball Z character.
You got to, hey man, fair play to him.
He looks like a Dragon Ball Z character.
You know what? It's the trim. It's the trim and the face. I know exactly what you mean. Yes, he does look a little bit like a Dragon Ball Z character. But what a finish, what a goal. Sessegnon, fair play to him as well. I think this is his first start as well for Fulham. Really? They were saying at Craven Cottage, but He obviously didn't have a great time at Spurs. Since he's gone back there, he's been doing decently, to be fair, coming back fairly fit.
Yeah.
The thing with Liverpool, I feel like this loss was kind of needed. Because, bro, picture this year. Imagine you go the whole season now unbeaten, but the only loss you have is that Forest one. You need a little something just so
we're saying two.
You don't
need
have
an even number.
Just so you don't think to yourself, yo, another season. Because they could have had 2 potential seasons where they could have gone invincible, but only 1 loss stopped them. Nah.
Hey,
give me another loss. Give me another loss. And take that.
You know what? You've convinced me.
Because the only thing, bro, and that Forest loss being that early in the season as well, and since then they've pretty much been perfect. You need another little blip just to balance out the scores, bruv. And Fulham, go on, man, take that, man. It ain't gonna affect us.
Let me tell you why you've.
And the worst part is Arsenal dropped points earlier anyway, so it's kind of like no harm, no foul. You know what I mean?
Hey, the final unk. I need the super chat put up now. Muniz is Spopovic from Dragon Balls.
Oh my days! Yeah, he's got it.
That's elite. That's
Fairs.
elite knowledge.
Nah,
that's elite knowledge.
Super chat of the day. Fair play.
That's elite knowledge. No, the reason
play.
why your point kind of makes sense is because I think the thing with Liverpool is, I don't know whether it's Liverpool as a side, and maybe I'm kind of getting like infiltrated by their thinking, but there's always this sort of like, when it's Liverpool, there's always an asterisk, there's always this, there's always that.
Oh, in terms of like
their wins.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Like, when we won, it was the COVID, yeah.
I saw when Cam tweeted out the Premier League is boring and everyone's like, oh, well, when Liverpool win, all of a sudden it's boring. It's the same thing in COVID.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I think...
But sorry, just quickly, the reason why I say that your point actually makes a lot of sense is because if Liverpool were to win this league this year with 1 loss, the nature of the conversation is going to literally be what you said. So Liverpool could have been invincible twice and bottled it. Uncomfortable. Rather than just being like, you know what, Liverpool, Arne Slot came in his first season and just waltzed the league.
Yeah.
It's going to be, So when you look back in hindsight, 2 losses.
Yeah.
Take
it, man. Take it. It ain't bigger picture. You know what I mean? And just to kind of go back to that conversation as well in terms of like the league being poor and Cams was saying like Liverpool fans are rattled that you should be praising them or whatever. I think all it is it shouldn't affect Liverpool fans if the league is poor. Do you know what I mean? Like, you done your job.
Still turn up to work.
You came up, you battered everyone,
Yeah.
you got your points. It's your manager's first season in supposedly what's supposed to be a transition year. You've won your league title. My job here is done. The fact that the rest of you didn't turn up and wanted to be 2 cheeks of the same arse, that's your problem. That's a Premier League problem, not a Liverpool problem.
Hey,
do you know what I mean?
Liverpool,
so in all of this kind of like rivals talk of asterisks and all of this, if you're a Liverpool fan, I'll just ignore it, man. Listen, if you're leaving with a medal at the end of the season, what can anyone say to you? Like, even every week, borderline, they've dropped points this season as well. Arsenal haven't been able to capitalize on it. So it's kind of like, what are we talking about here? It should be a conversation you lot have with yourselves. Look in the mirror. Not talking to Liverpool fans, you know what I mean? So,
well, they tried to rub out Chelsea's second Champions League win and say, "Oh, it was the worst run ever."
No, that one was still that one. I agree with that one still wholeheartedly.
Listen, where's your Champions League?
Nah.
Where's your Champions League trophy?
Do you know what I will say? No.
You get me? Like, they can say this,
I've got 2. I got him going.
I've got 2 trophies. I've got 2 Champions League trophies.
Let me just say this shit. I think your run, goated. You deserve all the flowers for that. Even playing City in the final, hard team at that point as well. But it was your squad. I always look at that 11 and that bit, and I'm like, I can't get jiggy with these lot holding medals, man. But it is what it is.
But at the end of the day, when you look at history, it's just like, it just says 2 Champions League.
That's it.
Liverpool, learn the sight from us. We used to reason our teams. We've fallen off a little bit, but we used to reason. Arsenal. I've got to say, and this is a nice segue into the Champions League conversations, Arsenal fans were doing call-outs for Kivior saying that, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do, Kivior?
Hey.
To stand up. And you know what? His performance, he had a good performance.
Yeah.
So now,
Gabriel's all shaking her off like, this is what I want on Tuesday. Mbappe, this is what I want to see.
So obviously, like, the result didn't go the way they wanted to go for it.
Yeah.
But how do you see, and there's no point downing on the whole Premier League stuff because they've been doing the same thing they've been doing. How do you see this game against Madrid going? Obviously, Madrid didn't get the result they wanted themselves. I'm seeing all of the players basically do soft PR, being like, this is not what we expect of ourselves, but we go again midweek. I saw Jude do it. I saw Mbappe do it. I saw maybe like 3 other Madrid players do the same thing.
Training with a vengeance.
Yeah, literally all of that type of stuff. How do you see this going?
It's weird, bro. I can't call it. First leg's at the Emirates, right?
I believe so.
But I honestly, I don't know which way to call it, because Madrid, it's like whenever they're supposed to almost like impress and turn up this season, they don't seem to. And then with Arsenal, with the Gabriel injury, you just don't know how much of an impact that's going to have. Obviously, Kivio stepped in, great performance, but Madrid is going to be a whole different animal. And I think Mbappe, even though he didn't score on the weekend, watching the game against Valencia, bro, he was active. Lively. And he looks like he is hungry at the moment. So I'm like, that's going to be a problem to deal with. Vinny Jr., obviously not in the greatest form of his life, but he's missed the Champions League, bro. We've seen him in multiple campaigns step up on that type of night and say, you know what, forget what I'm doing in the league, I'm going to turn up tonight. And Tuesday could be one of those nights. So it all depends on who turns up on the day. I hate to almost like feel like I'm sitting on the fence here, but this Arsenal should see it as an opportunity, in my opinion, rather than going into this kind of fearful. They should learn the lesson from Bayern Munich last year. Last year, I remember thinking, you've actually got that path to the kind of the semi-final pretty much mapped out for you there. But they almost gave it away against Porto, got through that, and then against Bayern Munich looked a shadow of themselves. This year, you got through the last round. Now you're here against Real Madrid. I feel like there's a massive opportunity here. If they can set the tone in the first leg and make it hard for Real Madrid in the second leg defensively, that's where they're going to struggle, because their defensive solidity has come from Saliba and Gabriel as a pairing. Now you don't have that. Is Ben White going to maybe slot in at centre-back? Is Timber going to be fully fit for both legs?
There's a lot
of questions.
Do you know what I love about this, right? Champions League, everything goes outside the window. Like form and stuff, it plays a part, but it's just 2 games. It's 2 games. For me, the reason why Arsenal have to rise, especially in this first game, is because I saw Chelsea go to the Bernabeu. They looked up and they said, wow, like I've only seen this on EAFC. Yeah. Like that's what the Bernabeu can do to you. So whilst you can control your controllables, you've got to have a good first leg.
But do you know what also you had an N'Golo Kante potentially having the game of his life as well. In almost every round of that Champions League run. And that's a huge thing Arsenal are going to need, big characters, whether that's Declan Rice who puts in that type of performance. Saka, I know he's coming back from injury. Great tapping at the back post. That's kind of a perfect confidence booster for your first game back. This game now, if I'm Saka, I'm just in my head saying, I'm giving it 60 minutes. And for that 60 minutes, I'm dying out.
Do you know what Saka has to do?
Yeah.
Saka has to have his Thierry Henry moment. Saka's a player, right? He means everything. I've in the last 2 weeks, I've seen how much he means to Arsenal, where they're like, give him the keys, let him be in charge of all the situations. Oh my gosh, our Saka's back. I know how much he means. And I deeped it, because realistically, how many Highlanders have they had with longevity? Jack Wilshere came in and whatnot, injuries. Like, how many have they actually had? It's like one of our own. Like, not really.
Kieran Gibbs came through left,
Chamberlain, they've not really had one like that.
Even Chamberlain's from Southampton.
Well, this is it. Ramsey was from Cardiff, right? They've not really had one. So I understand why he means so much. He's done loads of great stuff for them. He's had loads of moments. Champions League. Remember, everyone's like, oh, they're getting on about Saka. He's not played Champions League. He's arrived now. If Bukayo Saka has his Henry moment.
What a time to do it. What a time to do it. What a club to do it against. What a stage to do it on. Like, it's set up there for you, but at the same time, I think coming this fresh back from injury, I think that's almost a little bit unfair pressure.
The thing is, it's not pressure because no one expects
I understand as well,
you
do demand from your best players to kind of step up in these kind of big moments, but I think that's a bit of hopium almost.
No, so for me, the way I look at it is, realistically, this is like Saka looking at change room. I carried you, man, all season. I was out for 100 days. All I need from you guys, just give me one chance. Just give me one chance. You see the goal he scored? Just give me the one chance.
Do you know the one I'm looking at?
Odegaard.
Martinelli, bro.
Oh, yeah, because
I can't lie. Martinelli, the last couple of weeks.
He's restoring the feeling a little bit. A little jinky. Like, he found his Brazilian passport.
I was like, yo, hold on. What's happening here, bro? He seems like he's fresh. Yeah. That's the best way I can describe it. And I think the focus could all be on Saka and Odegaard and what could they do, and also Odegaard. Hello, former club that let you go. Big stage right here, Mr. Capitan, underperforming for the past month or two. What better way to return and redeem?
Boy.
Hey, big characters. That's what you're going to need anyway.
Boy.
But I think Martinelli, he could be almost like a sleeper. Everybody forgets about him, but he's the one that pops up. Similar like you remember Rodrigo versus...
I was about to say Rodrigo. Yeah.
Just like that, yeah.
Rodrigo. The thing is, a lot of people try to write Arsenal off. I don't think you can write off teams.
Ooh. I think she Mariah might have said something here that connected the dots for me. She said, or he or she's, apologies. Can't tell what the name. Engaged Martinelli, moving different.
What are you saying? He's focused. Focused. I hear it.
I like that one, you know.
I hear it.
Engaged Martinelli. What are they saying? Settled men.
Alex Ferguson thing. You know, Sir Alex was telling them to get married early, not date pop stars. Hey, I can see similarities between Mikel. You know, he's like,
well, look,
Iron Fist.
Enzo tried to touch the streets, came back home, form returned. Hey.
We say what you see in the correlation.
I'm just connecting dots. I haven't made an observation yet.
Quickly, Inter, Bayern. Obviously, Musiala picked up an injury. They've picked up a few injuries.
Yeah, that could be a big one. Bleak. Have they said how long potentially it could be?
They've not. I don't think they've officially said, but they said that it looks like if it's his hammy, he's out for the rest of the season.
This one is going to be, listen, Harry Kane, Michael Olise, those are the boys I'm looking at.
Two-man step, yeah.
Two-man step. Let me see something.
Yeah.
If there's two man I want to see.
Oh, they're saying 6-8 weeks
you.
for Musiala. Yeah, it's two-man step time.
Yeah.
It's a two-man step time.
Warida.
Two-man step time.
The thing I'm going to be looking at, I think, though, Simeone. How he obviously sets them up. I think that's the biggest thing. With Inter Milan, you don't look at any one individual to really make the difference in the team. Bro, they've got quality all over the pitch. Thuram, Barella, Bastoni. Even Dumfries on the wing actually pops up when needed. Do you know what I mean? But Lautaro finding a few goals in the last couple of weeks as well. How Inter kind of set up, I think, will kind of dictate how the game goes. And Musiala is a big needle mover. There is no way you lose a player like Musiala and you don't feel the difference. So I think if we were doing predictions, I would have gone for a draw in the Arsenal-Madrid game. Okay. And for this one, I will go... I think Inter take a slight lead, but Bayern get it back in the second leg.
Bastoni's injured for them, apparently.
Ooh. DiMarco could still step in. Damian.
Don DiMarco.
Yeah, I'll go Inter.
Sweet.
Go Inter.
One I'm interested in, PSG Villa. And again, you've got Asensio going back. You've got Emery going back. But PSG...
going back hype, man. Them boys is getting wild. Oh, we about to see some swashbuckling
kind of whoop ass.
Hey, Desiree Doué, cha cha cha. Hey, the Dembele slide.
I think Villa might have
screamer. Oh,
I think Villa might have something for them.
Hey,
you know?
Listen, I don't know. Listen, Aston Villa, the run was fun. And I remember even when the season started, I actually called Villa doing a deep run in the Champions League and going potentially quarterfinals. Hey, it's fun. It's nice. You've done your job. Now let's leave it to the professionals. You know what I mean? The big dogs are here. They dumped out Liverpool in the previous round. There is no way you're telling me they eliminated Liverpool to get eliminated by Villa the next round.
I've seen funnier things happen.
I have seen funnier things, but I have also seen what PSG are playing this season. Vitinha, João Neves. Hey, Donnarumma. I know you were the hero in the last round. Marquinhos. You two in particular, I'm talking. If you disgrace them and you're the reason for PSG's elimination this round, hey. I'll be making a personal visit to Paris.
Oh my gosh, the last tie is Barcelona-Dortmund.
Oh, I mean, what are we doing here? How many goals is Lamine Yamal gonna be involved in? Let's not do predictions.
One leg or two legs?
Over the 2 legs.
4.
I go 3. And I reckon Lewandowski 2 goals. Yeah.
I'm going over the 2 legs. I'm going Yamal 2 goals.
Are you going over or under 5 goals across both legs?
What, for Barcelona?
For Barcelona.
I'm going over.
Yeah.
I'm going over.
What are you saying? Chat, what are we saying? Over or
Over
under 5
or
goals? Let's do a little over and under, because I'm not even discussing whether that is going to be a close game. Barcelona are going to take these boys to the cleaner.
I can't lie.
And I know, obviously, they drop points on the weekends or whatever, but nah. The attack there is too wicked.
Thing have been resolute.
Rafinha, hey, Ballon d'Or charge. Hey.
Well, you've just reminded me of something, actually. So
what, the skirmish?
No, so even before the skirmish, I can't remember what game it was, but I can't remember who it was, but the guy was Nigerian that tweeted it, and he basically said this Ballon d'Or stuff is not easy, because basically they had lost the game, and Rafinha was going to the opposition and shaking everyone's hand.
Oh, Rodrigo de Paul.
Yeah.
Shots of him.
They're just shaking everyone's hand, and it's like, this guy wants the Ballon d'Or bad, man. Man's ticking all the PR boxes, and then the next game he's fighting his own teammates. Hey, winning the Ballon d'Or is not easy, man. You got to shake their right hands. You got to pair it right in the press. You see what Rodri did? Rodri made sure it was good.
Yourself. That's how you win the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, hey. We see through those acts. Yeah, we see through all the gimmicks.
Because obviously the goals and stuff. I think since the December 2nd, the goal return hasn't been the greatest in La Liga, I believe. Obviously, Champions League still been doing his thing. Like,
and that's the thing. The Champions League is what he's really been hanging his hat on.
100%, but winning the Ballon d'Or is not easy because it's performance, but it's PR as well. But I see man shaking people's hands. I was like, bro.
We're back to normality of the Ballon d'Or being separated by small little differences. You know what I mean? Not, he's got 67 goals and he's got 55. Go away, man. Finally, some humans can win it instead of some aliens. And
couple more super chats. Box of Oranges 84 says Liverpool fan, and I'm looking for Villa.
One quick one. Sorry, can Asensio play in this tie? Because is he not on loan?
Champions League's different. I think he can play. He should be able to play.
But I mean, excuse me, but on FM, when you loan a player,
he can.
You add a clause.
No, he can. He can play.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, they didn't tick the clause of
they didn't expect it. They slept on it. They slept on Villa. That's why Villa gonna spin the block on them.
Nah.
Box Orange says Liverpool fan, and I'm looking for at Villa how Green Goblin looked at his son. Avenge me. I like that. Adams says Bukayo Saka back or not nice. Pass me the lager. Madrid in 5.
You say that again?
Man said Bukayo Saka back or not nice. Pass me the lager. Madrid in 5.
Fairs.
Oh man. Any other business that we need to get to? Should we do champs and duds? Any other thing that we've spoken about?
Yeah, let's do champs and duds.
Champs and duds. So
I think of. Hey, send in your champs and duds as well.
My dud is going to Southampton. This is the earliest a team has ever been relegated from the Premier League.
I mean, can we actually say we're surprised? By the way, this is the third season in a row Spurs have relegated a team from the Premier League.
That's you man's Champions League.
Bro, we're like 2 positions above the relegation zone.
That's you man's Champions League.
We fighting with them boys next season.
Southampton on my dud of the week. And I can't lie, Aaron Ramsdale, you slightly might get a dud as well. 3 relegations on your CV is nasty work. 3.
Tree. Homecoming hype. Bro's at the playoff final just to get them relegated. Oh, that's nasty work. Nasty work.
You can get a dud. Oh, Natisha's just dropped a comment, which I'm going to have to read. That's funny. Fabrizio is a dud for not getting the KDB news. Finally. So.
They said, yo, you didn't get the drop, bozo.
That is elite hating. That is elite hating.
I think without a shadow of a doubt, champ, of course, KDB. Listen, man, I know he's only announced that he's leaving, but brother, I appreciate you, then. I'll appreciate you now, and I'll appreciate you when you're gone, brother.
Nah, KDB definitely is a champ.
Dud, I think Vinicius Junior. The Valencia game was something to forget, should we say? Yeah. And then brother, did he post on IG as well after the game talking about it wasn't a great win or something like that, but we're looking to choose it. I'm like, brother,
they all did it.
Some games you just need to know when to just shut up, bro.
No, but they all
learn from. We'll come back 10 times. We'll do this 10 times if we have to. Come on, brother. Just put the tweets and the IG posts in the bag. But that, as you said, comes back to the whole man. Them feel like they need to keep up this PR gimmick of brother.
Yeah,
please, man.
I'm gonna give a dud to the Premier League as well. Just like the lack of jeopardy, the lack of gusto, like. Oh, someone look. There we go. We've got a few that agree with me.
The Premier League quality is the real dud.
I'm just watching and I'm like, what happened to the game I love, man? And don't get me wrong here, that might be a nostalgia thing, because I'm pretty sure there's been times in past where it's got to this time in the season and there's been nothing going on.
Yeah.
But the fact that there's nothing, like there's actually nothing, like Chelsea are still 4th. How? I don't know. The battle for top 4 is not even like exciting.
Yeah.
The relegation battle was done weeks ago. There's just nothing. Nothing to get excited for. I'm looking at the fixtures, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be in front of my TV.
Bottom 3 are already relegated.
Yeah, it's just
there's literally no jeopardy anywhere.
We need to fix this. Another one that's come in is League. How can PSG be crowned this early every single season?
I mean, is that not par for the course at this point? This is what happens when you have one club so, financially huger than all the other clubs. Bro, the other clubs, you know how broke the French league is? They're struggling to get TV deals. Then you've got a petrol state running one club, and you're surprised that they're being announced in, April? This is pretty late by PSG standards, by the way.
Do you know what they did for the TV thing? They were like, I think because it was McDonald's, innit? McDonald's are like, if you buy like a Happy Meal, we'll give you a subscription to watch the league.
That's crazy.
Because that's
crazy.
Bro, it's mad over
so
there.
Mad.
It's actually mad. Natish says United FC, by the way, champs, whooping anyone and everyone. Go on, Ginge.
Don't worry, talk soon. Listen. Everybody loves a talker when they're winning. Yeah? Your backs are against the wall. When we're like 7-8 weeks into this, we're gonna talk soon.
Hey, Sharky, I can't lie.
Don't worry.
The waistcoat thing is working for Ginge. Maybe if
No. We're tracksuit mafia. We are tracksuit mafia. You see, we are Tony Pulis type gappers.
Tracksuit waistcoat.
Hey, Jurgen Klopp and his man them. You
Gile.
see that?
Sharky's got to pull up in the Primo Gile.
We ain't doing the suit thing unless we go to the Champions League or Baller League, because top 4 qualify for the Vegas Champions League. That's when maybe the grand final we might wear a suit.
Natish circled back. He said, SDS hype, hold 7 when we see you.
Hey, say no more. So, what is it, Nitish, yeah?
Yeah.
The purple one, yeah? I got you. Say no more.
Disrespecting Harry Kane, blasphemy.
Noted. Hey,
he's on
Harry Kane on that team as well.
He's on your.
He's a serious player. Hey, he's been watching. I can't lie. Fair play. Fair play. He's locked in.
Hey, listen, like, share, subscribe. We'll be back next week. Make sure you're following. Make sure you're locked in. As I said, Martin Tyler episode. Make sure you check that out. Dos Locos on Wednesday. Make sure you check that out.
Indeed.
SDS, if you're about, go and watch them, man. It's good fun at the Baller League. This is the future of football. Listen, we'll be back next week. Like, share, subscribe. Algorithm. We're out.
Peace.